the most diversified radio station on the dial, AM 1050 KCAA.
Hello and welcome to Let's Go Shopping with Bev. This show brought to you by Starflight Entertainment. Music by Dr. Bombay and the Blue Machine Band. Song title, Living in Paradise. Now here's Bev.
Hey everybody, how you doing? And happy Friday to you. Yeah, we have Friday, the best day of the week. Yay! We love Fridays around here.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, and also talking about Fridays, we do like the Fridays restaurant too.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Barb and I are in there quite a bit. Oh, yeah. And you're right. Some of the food, holy moly.
All the bourbon sauces are very good.
Yeah. And Zach, you like them too, huh?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Yes, I do.
And I'm glad everybody's tuning in today. And if you've seen my post this morning and yesterday, we have one of the coolest shows. I say that seems like every week, don't I? But this one is really, really, really important to all of us with all the fires and the shake, rattle, and rolls, the earthquakes and everything that's going on, the air quality and this and that. I had the sheer pleasure of talking to Zach. Zach is with us, and he is from San Bernardino County Fire Department. Officer Emergency Service, and we're going to be talking to Zach in just a moment. Directly after that, we have Barbara and Daniel from Farmers Insurance. They are going to be talking about all of the do's and don'ts that one should do about their insurances for their houses, their motor coaches, their trailers, tents, whatever, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then we have our lovely Mia.
I thought it was like an alien invasion or something.
Yeah. And our fantastic Mia, our sidekick, she's up in Victor Valley at one of the elementary schools. She always gets the good stuff, I tell you. And she's going to be calling in hopefully around the 4:30-ish mark today. And then also we have the joke of the week, the deals of the week, and the special events. And let's say hi to Joe, our board up. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you ready, Joe?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. So, Zach, you're up, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
I'm so happy. You're welcome. And, Zach, would you please tell everybody the beginning of your stories? When did you get started and why?
I've been with the County Fire Department now about 19 years. It's actually a family business. My grandfather, two of my uncles have all been part of fire departments in the state. And so I kind of like, this looks kind of interesting. I'll try it out. Mm-hmm. And got in as an EMT and then became a paramedic. Did that for a while and then kind of got dragged into the other side of it with preparedness and response and discovered I had a blast with it. And I've been doing disaster preparedness and emergency management now for about 5 years.
That's good. I'm glad that you did all of that, and I'm glad that you're with us. Thank you.
Happy to be here. This is going to be fun.
Oh, it is. And one question I wanted to ask you, when you were a paramedic, what kind of training, I know they have to go to school, and then you got to learn everything about the ambulances and the different drugs and the triage on the 4 different colors for triage on things like this. What else does one have to do?
Paramedic is basically, it's just short of being a nurse in the field. And they go to, as of now in California, you do almost 2,000 hours of schooling.
Really?
And a couple of hundred hours of what we call kind of an intern ride-along, where you go out while you're going to school and you ride with local fire departments, paramedics, ambulance companies, and you spend time in the ER as well, so that when you finish up and you graduate the program, you actually have field experience before you go to work for an actual department. But it's everything from anatomy and physiology, pharmacology being the drugs that we use, how to extricate people from vehicles, how to do patient assessment. It's a tremendous amount of knowledge and education that we put into someone who's going to take that type of responsibility on. Because as an EMT or a paramedic, you basically have people's lives in your hands. Mm-hmm. Your job is to keep them alive as best you can in the field until you can get them to a higher level of care at a hospital. So especially in our county, where we're almost 21,000 square miles here in the county, you get up into our North Desert or our South Desert areas, it can be an hour response time. So you may have 2 paramedics and maybe a CHP officer, maybe the only people in the field that can help somebody. So our paramedics have to be exceptionally well trained. So when they're out there, they can do everything they can for that person to keep them alive and get them back to a hospital.
So our county doesn't have connected paramedics to each fire station?
Oh, no. Our paramedics are part of the fire department. So, and pretty much now any modern fire department in California, paramedics will be part of that fire department.
Okay, good.
We call them firefighter paramedics.
Good.
So most engines, you'll have 3 people on an engine. You'll have at least 2 paramedics on that engine. So when they show up, you'll have at least 1, 2 paramedics on scene. And with AMR Ambulance, most all of their ambulances are either an EMT paramedic or 2 paramedics on the ambulance as well.
Good.
We also have something I think we're very blessed with here in California. We have a very large contingent of medical airships. So with Mercy Air, CHP, San Bernardino County Sheriff, and now San Bernardino County Fire, we're flying our own medical airships. So if you get a remote area, you get a very high-level trauma call, say from a traffic accident or a shooting or something that requires very, very rapid intervention, we can bring a paramedic airship in and fly you to any of the level 1 trauma centers within 20, 30 minutes and get you out by air if we have to. So it's a fully integrated program, fire, EMS, unlike where you go back in the Midwest where maybe you have paramedics and the ambulance company are one and then fire department is separate. Here, everything is fully integrated.
My favorite show is Chicago Fire. And they have their own ambulance in the station. Don't know if it's real, but that's my favorite show.
Here within the county, City of Rialto runs their own ambulances as part of the fire department. And in a lot of the more remote areas in the county, the mountain communities, some of the desert communities out in the South Desert and along the river, county fire is both the fire department and the ambulance provider because of how remote the communities are.
Wow.
Well, that's good to know. I was curious about that one. I really was. And I feel more safe now when I'm out in my vehicle. I really do. Yes, thank you.
Well, one of the benefits you have here in the county is when you look at how we're laid out with our 24 cities in the county, you really have access to a phenomenal amount of emergency medical care. We look at local cities that they all have paramedics. You have the paramedic airships available. You have 2 trauma centers in the county. We have 18 hospitals in the county. So if you need care, we can get you to care. Biggest thing is just time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always with everything is timing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And now, in talking about all of that, now let's get into what we were talking about earlier. Getting people prepared for themselves, their safety, their families, and their homes and their vehicles in case of fires.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you and I had talked about, one of the biggest things I want to stress today to folks, especially if you've been watching the news the last few weeks, we have an extreme drought in the state of California, to the point the governor has proclaimed a state of emergency for the state because of the drought, and they're asking people to conserve and take other steps to voluntarily help with that. The problem we have with that is our fuels are dry. There's no moisture in the forest. We have no snow on the ground. I think, based on, if I remember the numbers correctly from the National Weather Service, we're like 9 inches below where we should be in rain. Our lakes are low. We don't have the watershed. We have very, very dry fuels. And let's face it, as you and I talked about, it's a week till the end of January, and it feels like it's June.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's warm, it's hot, it's dry. We've got continual winds. What we want to stress to folks is you need to, and everyone hears this every year, but you have to take this seriously. You need to do the brush clearance and the ground clearance around your home. We tell everybody, we refer to it as defensible space, you need to clear at least 30 feet around your home. And that's get on the ground in your flower beds, your backyard, underneath your trees. We call them flash fuels, and it's the dead leaves, the dead twigs, it's all the stuff that accumulates on the ground as your plants go through their cycle. You have to clean that up. You have to keep that clean. Because if we have a major fire start, especially in our areas where our cities butt right up into the wildland or the forest area, you get a fire going, embers can travel a couple of miles in the Santa Ana winds. Those embers get on that light, flashy fuel on the ground, sets the yard on fire, starts setting your shrubs on fire, can set your trees, can set your home on fire. You've got to do that vegetation clearance to clear all that out. You also need to clear what we refer to as ladder fuels on your trees, where any trees you have on the property, you need to go from the ground up to 6 feet up that tree, get the dead limbs off, get anything cleaned off of it, get trash away from it. All of that gives you time to protect your home, makes it easier for the fire crews to get in, gives us access to get in so we can fight the fire, help protect your home. The other thing to consider in your home, especially if you have an older home, look at your eaves. Make sure your eaves are cleaned out. Make sure you have, if you have any vents on your home, any of the little wire mesh vents you see where you're bringing air in underneath the home or up under your eaves, make sure you have very fine wire mesh on that. That keeps the embers from getting in up under your roof and getting into your attic and setting the house on fire. If you get embers up in the attic and the attic starts burning, there may be no evidence to anybody driving by your home's on fire even though you have a fire going in the attic until it suddenly pops out. So you could have 3 or 4 minutes where the home's burning, a fire engine could drive right by and never know you have a fire.
That's a scary thought.
So if you take that few minutes, spend a few dollars at your local home improvement store, put a little bit of wire mesh over those vents, it can do wonders to protect your house.
And you know what's funny about that? The insurance carriers are working along with the fire departments right now because we actually want more than that. We want 100 to 150 feet away from the house. We can cancel your homeowner's insurance if your tree is touching your roof. All those kinds of things because it's a fire hazard.
And the sad part is, you could take one weekend and do all this.
Correct.
And now you've saved yourself how much stress, how much time, how much effort. And I say this, my family in the 1980s, during the Panorama Fire, we lost our home. It's amazing when you talk to people now who talk about, oh, well, I just didn't have time, I didn't have time. If you take in one weekend, your house stands. You have a good, I mean, it's no guarantee, as I was explaining to Bev, if the fire's going to burn the house down, it's going to burn the house down. But if you have that opportunity, take that weekend, protect your home, do a little bit of cleanup, make it a family event. Hey, you're done. You're taken care of. Most people, if you do it twice a year, you're taken care of. Now, if you live in the forest, say like Arrowhead,
correct,
you probably want to be doing that every couple of months just to make sure. But it's that little bit of time and effort, and we try to teach people this. Bev and I spoke about this. If you have a fire coming through, you've not done your brush clearance, you've not cleared around the home. We see people all the time on the news who have the one garden hose, who want to stand up there and I'm going to make that stand. I'm going to protect my home with the garden hose. And the message I want to promote to people is the house is replaceable. Everything you have in that house can be replaced. You cannot. And especially if you have kids and you have a family, why would you wish to take that risk? It's easier to say, do the clearance, protect the home, and when we tell you to get out, get out. Leave, go away, go find shelter, let the fire crews do their job, and pray and hope for a good outcome, but you're still alive when it's all over.
Okay, I got to bump in here. I'm so glad that you said that. Now, to all of our listeners, we're through the whole United States, 137 countries, and no, I'm not going to speak every language. I'm lucky I can speak English, let alone every language. But guys, we are taking the time. Zach was good enough. He took his time away from his department to come down here with Barbara and I from Farmers Insurance. Listen to what we are telling you. Take that moment. Forget about going to the mall on a sale. There'll be a sale, somewhere else. And guys, get it done before Super Bowl Sunday. And then you can watch your game in peace. But seriously, hear what Zach said, and I'm going to have him repeat this in a moment. Think about your family, about your children, your grandchildren, your aunties, your uncles, your grandma, grandpa, who's ever living in your home. Think of your pets, your birds, your goldfish, your dog, your orangutan, your elephant, whatever you have. Think about them. When the firefighters say, I'm going to say it nicely because we're on air, get out of your house, that means get out of your house. Just forget about it. And Zach's right. Your house can be replaced. Your furniture can be replaced. Because I know everybody's smart enough to have insurance with Farmers Insurance.
No, they're not.
I'm prejudiced. That's my favorite fire insurance company. But do it. And do it now. And when them fires come, because guarantee this crazy weather keeps on coming, somebody else is going to get a fire. We just had one not too long ago up in our neck of the woods that gave everybody the hibby-jibbies up there, too. And just do it. You know what I mean? And Zach, the other thing, when talking about the fires,